Welcome to In the Word. My name is Dr. Robert McKenzie, and today I want to show you how divorce causes issues, especially when it comes to men. I want to start out by saying that I was a divorced pastor, and I had to deal with the stigma and being a pariah and judgment of those around me and in the ministry. Now, after 27 years of marriage, I want to share with you what I have learned. Men experience more health problems in the process and after divorce. The most common health problems include weight fluctuation, depression, anxiety, and stress. Here's why divorce is harder on men than women. Men skip the grieving process. Divorce is one of the most stressful things that can happen in life, and only more stressful than the death of a close friend or family member. The person you are losing in the case of a marriage dissolution has been your partner and in your life for a long time, and grief is a natural feeling. When men skip the grieving process, they feel at loss as their plans are derailed, goals and dreams are changed, and the life plan will differ substantially. Women take time to grieve, which is a healthy emotion and much needed to move on. Women will also seek professional help or help from family members when they divorce to aid in their emotional state. When men bottle up their emotions, it can result in massive depression and anxiety. Also, men's health declines drastically. Men have the added stress of handling all the finances and identity loss, which makes them much more susceptible to both stroke and heart disease. Men are also more likely to self-medicate with alcohol and drugs than women are, instead of seeking out therapy as women do in stressful times. When married, wives usually try to encourage healthy behaviors of their spouses. This can make men more dependent on the women. When men are depressed, they talk to their wives, whereas when women are depressed, they often choose to speak with a professional, a friend, or a family member. Men are just not accustomed to seeking out emotional support from others that aren't their spouse. Also, men lose their identity. When couples are together, they identify as being a wife or husband, and this is a large part of who you are. The marriage status is one of the critical factors in self-identification and how others view you. Husbands, when going through a divorce, see themselves as no longer being half of a partnership, whereas women are more likely to pick up new activities and join groups during the marriage than men do. This allows women to have a social connection that can still exist after a divorce. Men don't get involved in new activities after a marriage dissolution. Men also rush into new relationships. Since men don't take the time to grieve correctly, they don't want to be alone after divorce and will most likely rush into a new relationship right away. In this manner, they can meet someone new and suppress all their feelings and disappointments with a failed marriage. This can lead to troublesome relationships. On the other hand, women take time out to grieve and examine their emotions. Women will also take their time before entering a new relationship, making a future relationship stronger. Women are also more likely to not rush into those relationships because, face it, who wants to feel like they are back in high school with all the uncertainties of those relationships? Divorced women much less likely are to remarry than divorced men. If you notice, online dating sites have a large excess of men over women. Many women with children that divorce don't want to enter into another relationship after the first wasn't successful for fear of a relationship not lasting as well. One thing about divorce is men miss their children. More often than not, after a divorce, the mother ends up with the children in custody. This will leave men only seeing their children on a custody schedule and not on an everyday basis as they did when they were married. Men will feel like they aren't a part of the children's lives anymore because they miss the big baseball game, parties, or other events that still exist. Men don't appreciate calling their children to find out what's going on. Women, on the other hand, are still a significant player in the children's lives if they live with their mom. Most often, the mom will feel fulfilled and distracted from unproductive feelings because the children are with her and she interacts with them on a daily basis. Divorce is hard for everyone. Breakups are hard for both men and women, but most women are better to cope with their feelings and move on after grieving than men do. This is likely due, at least in part, to the fact that women tend to have much better support networks in place, close friends to talk to, grieve with, and receive comfort and encouragement from, and they're more likely to seek therapy than men. Women have been shown to have a slightly decline in physical and emotional health, but the same effects are much stronger for men as they don't seek psychological help in any manner. Women are also shown to come out stronger after divorce, while men may try to move forward and never overcome the anguish it has caused them. Women initiate divorce more often than men, according to a Stanford sociologist, Michael Rosenfeld. He said 69% of divorces are initiated by women, and studies have shown that marital happiness is typically higher for men than for women. Other studies have demonstrated that divorce is associated with worse mental and physical health for men than for women. In fact, men are more likely to consider suicide after a separation than women. So it may be in your best interest as women to give your ex-husband a bit of a break for your children's sake. Most likely your kids will still want to spend time with him, and this can help him immensely with health relationships in the future. If men feel like they failed at the marriage, it can hone their paternal skills to spend time with the children and even reinstall the needed sense of belonging and providing for the children. This is In the Word, and my name is Dr. Robert McKenzie. This is Dr. Robert McKenzie from In the Word podcast. If you feel that any of these podcasts are assisting you in having a better marital relationship, you may give to our Cash App of any amount of your choosing at $ in the word pod. In the word pod. God bless you and God keep you is our prayer.